Hey family, it's Ray, and I'm back with another word. I pray that you guys have been blessed and that this word finds you in good spirits. So this word came to me through an encounter that I had on May 17th, and the title of this word is The Final Countdown. So this is going to be another one of those repost words where the Lord brought me confirmations and then took me back to a word he released around this time last year. And the word that he brought me back to, I posted it really literally around this time, the last couple of days of May of 2024, titled "They've Been Discharged." Okay, and so I will be reposting that word in here. But for the encounter that he gave me on the 17th, that morning, I was in the cafeteria and I was waiting for my coffee, and this song came on the intercom or whatever it's called, the loudspeaker, and this song was significantly louder than whatever music had been playing before. And so the intro caught my attention because it sounded like this triumphant, victorious music. That's literally what I said to myself when I heard it. And so then I was just going about my business, like I said, waiting for my coffee, and I kind of tuned out the music at first, and then I heard The Final Countdown. And if y'all know this song, the artist, he's like aggressively saying it, so he's kind of yelling it aggressively, The Final Countdown. And so like I said, I tuned it out, but so when he just was saying The Final Countdown, that's just all my ear kept catching was The Final Countdown. And so he said it a couple more times before it really stood out to me. And at the same time that it stood out to me, the cashier, she was bringing someone else up next to me, and I heard her say 529. That caught my attention because I know that 529 means meeting or encounter in Greek Strongs, and then in Hebrew Strongs it means faithfulness, trustworthiness, and fidelity. And so the Lord decided me to go look it up a little bit more, 529. And so it says, the word is used in the Hebrew Bible to describe qualities of faithfulness and reliability, often in the context of God's character or the expected character of his followers. It's closely related to the concept of faithfulness and reliability. It is used to describe the nature of God as one who is steadfast and trustworthy. This term is often associated with the covenantal faithfulness of God, highlighting his unwavering commitment to his promises and his people. If you guys have been listening to any of the previous words that I've been releasing, and I mentioned in the very first one that all these words were connected. So he gave me them. They're literally like stepping stones, like they each go with the next, but he just gave me them, and he just gave me them as separate words. And so that's how I'm going to release them. A key thing that he highlighted to me when he started to give me these words, and as he began to break them down to me, was that these words are confirmations of words that he's already spoken, words that he released last year specifically. And for those who are really in season right now for these words to come to pass, he's just bringing those words back around through these confirmations that he's given me. So that's why I am releasing the confirmations or even the dreams that he's given me, and then reposting those words so you can get the fullness of that message or be reminded of what he spoke in those words when he released them through me last year. Okay, so the faithfulness, the trustworthiness of God's character, all right, the reliability of who we know he is, like when he says something, it does not return to him void. His unwavering commitment to his promises and his people. Okay, this is the final countdown. And like I mentioned, the word that he gave me around this time last year, they've been discharged, that was mentioned in that word. So that was the beginning of my day at work. Now, as I left work, I saw this license plate that said KJV 3333. I was led to Ezekiel 33:33. When all this comes true, and it surely will, then they will know that a prophet has been among them. So you are in the final countdown. You are about to encounter, you are about to meet face to face with that promise, with that thing the Lord promised you, whatever it is that you are about to step into, that you have been waiting for, that you have been standing for. And the word, they've been discharged, I'm going to put it in here. That word does speak on marriage, but this also can be in terms of anything. Whatever that promise is has been discharged. It's been released to you. It's been sent out to you for you to receive. So it's on its way. Okay. And so I will be inserting that in here now.
This word comes from an encounter that I had on the 25th of May. And so the title of this word is "They've Been Discharged," coming to you to become one. 525. I encountered that number all throughout the week before, and then on May 25th, I just decided to look up 525 in Strong's. Took note of that, and then further on in the day, I encountered at 1521, I got a call to discharge a patient. And I'm not going to share the patient's name, but I'm going to share the meaning of the names, because that's really what the Lord used as part of the message, was the meaning of the names. And so I'm just going to go over the highlights that the Lord brought to me through this encounter. So first I want to start with 525 Strong's, which means release, remove, deliver, or depart. 1521, which again is when I received the phone call. 1521 in Strong's, to bring in, lead in, introduce, a bursting forth. And then I said this was a discharge. And so it says to allow someone to officially leave. That's what discharge means, to allow someone to officially leave. A flowing out, something that is given forth, to relieve of a charge or load, or to remove or send forth. The next one, which comes from one of the names, means flower. And that reminded me of just bloom and the spring season, because that's when plants and flowers and all those things begin to bloom again. Also just springing forth, a freshness, a newness, birthing, fertility, fruitfulness, and things like that. The next name, and the meaning of that name is to bind or to tie. And then he highlighted the person who called in the discharge, whose name is messenger of God or angel. And then 321. So I said the call came in at 1521, which also translates to 3:21 p.m. 3:21 in Strong's means to lead up, to bring forth, depart, launch forth, set forth, or take up. And so the scripture that the Lord led me to for this word was Genesis 24. And in Genesis 24, Rebekah was brought to Isaac. So Abraham sent his servant to the land to go retrieve a wife for his son Isaac. He told his servant not to take his son back to that land. So he needed Isaac to stay in the land that the Lord, told Isaac to be in. So he needed the servant to go retrieve a wife for Isaac and bring the wife to Isaac. He made an oath with his servant, and he told the servant that if the woman does not agree to leave, if the woman does not agree to depart her land to go with you to the land of Isaac and to become Isaac's wife, then you were free from the oath. Okay, so the servant goes to the land where Rebekah is. He prays to the Lord to make his journey successful, and even before he's finished praying, here comes Rebekah. Okay, and so he offers Rebekah to come. He gives her the jewelry and the gifts. Then Rebekah's family also gives their blessing, so to speak. They allow her to go. They say that this is from the Lord, and it's nothing that they can do about it. There's nothing they can say about it one way or the other. This is the Lord's doing. And she also agrees to go. So they leave. They head back to the land that Isaac is in. As she's dismounting from the camel, Isaac then approaches her. So at this point, it's kind of like they're meeting halfway. And then Isaac takes her into the tent. She becomes his wife, and Isaac is comforted after the loss of his mother. So that's pretty much just a synopsis of Genesis 24. But of course, if this word is for you, if this word resonates with you, go and read Genesis 24 for yourself and allow the Lord to highlight what it is that he wants to highlight to you, to speak to you, what it is that he wants to speak to you, to minister to you through the scripture and through the word. So now I'm going to get into the message, okay? And so for who this word is for, currently in this season, either your spouse has been released, given the green light to come to you, contact you, or to pursue you, or this can indicate that you have been officially released into your marriage season. This can also be a call, instruction, or confirmation of an instruction, confirming a move, a physical relocation, and that relocation is pertinent to your union or to the coming together of your union. Now, this could be forward movement in the form of actually fully and officially becoming one. So getting married, it could denote an engagement, becoming a fiance. It can denote stepping into a committed relationship with the man or woman that God has shown you that he's chosen for you. This could look like communication, meeting for the first time if this is someone new, or reconciling if you've been in a separation. There could be direction or instruction being given on one or both sides as far as moving, whether it's figuratively or literally, to reach out or pursue, or like I said, a physical relocation. one person leaving their current location and going to another. And again, that could be on one side or both, honestly. And so the Lord is setting the two of you up to become one with each other. For some, this can happen in the springtime, this spring season. I think we have about 3.5 weeks left before summer starts. So for some, this will actually take place in this spring season. You will see some type of forward movement within your connection. For others of you, if it's not going to happen in this spring season within these next 3 weeks, this can just signify the springing forth, the birthing, or the stepping into fulfillment of the promise that the Lord gave you concerning your marriage or concerning your connection. And so 3, 2, 1 also reminded me of a countdown. So time is winding down. And the Lord also led me to look up spring. So a time or season of growth or development that's outside of spring season, but furthermore, to rise, leap, or act suddenly and swiftly, as by sudden dart or thrust forward or outward, or being suddenly released from a coiled or constrained position. So some of these men or women have been bound, held back, or held up by other situations, but whatever the case, it has ended. Last week I seen a cloud formation and it looked like an arm. And it like kind of reminded me of the arm of the muscle emoji, but except it wasn't a muscle. It just was the forearm and the wrist leading up to the hand, but the hand was in a position of a fist or as if to grasp hold of something. And so as the clouds began to shift, it then looked to me like a set of handcuffs. And that is what the hand was grasping hold of, was a handcuff. So it wasn't on the wrist of the arm. It was the hand holding the handcuff. So to me, that was like resembling being set free and being released, or someone taking the handcuffs or the shackles or the chains off of someone to set them free. And that takes me back to discharge, because it said to allow someone to officially leave. So yeah, so a message, a word, or a call has gone forth to your spouse or for your spouse to go, to leave, to depart, or to come, to arrive, or to show up. And so if this word is for you, even if this word resonates with you, first off, make sure that you are aware what season you're in. If you are not aware, go to the Lord and seek him on it, and he will show you what season that you are in. If the word resonates with your spirit, still take it back to the Lord, asking him for confirmation, just giving him that space to speak to you and minister to you individually, to give you confirmation, direction, instructions, and just allowing him to speak to you more independently. Okay, if you know anyone who you need to hear this word, feel free to share it with them. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Hit that notification bell so that you're notified of any future uploads when I post, and I'll be back soon with another word.